Hi, I'm Travis Corcoran. For 20 years I lived in the big city, worked at startups and tech companies. My heat and water came from city utilities, and my food came from supermarkets. 7 years ago, I moved to a farm. I still work for tech companies, but now I heat my house with firewood that I log in my forest. I grow my own fruits and vegetables, and make my own bacon from pigs that I raise and butcher. When I moved to the country, I didn't even know what questions to ask. I had to learn thousands of things about tractors, gardens, compost, livestock, fencing, and more. A lot of it the hard way. So I'm putting it all in a book for you. Absolutely everything that I've learned and that you need to know about country living and homesteading to help you move from the city or the suburbs out to the country. Whether you want to plant orchards and butcher your own livestock, or just want a few chickens so that you can have eggs in the morning, my book will tell you everything that you need to know, what equipment, processes, and skills you need. There are endless books on gardening, farming, and homesteading. I know, I own several hundred of them. All of them have three failures. They don't have sufficient breadth. One will talk about compost, but not about gardening. Another will talk about gardening, not about tractors. They all have blind spots, especially about the basic stuff. They forget that thousands of things aren't obvious to everyone. The difference between straw and hay, between sweet corn and field corn, disking versus plowing versus rototilling, the different kinds of fences, how utilities differ in the suburbs and city versus the country. A book on gardening doesn't tell you what you need to know about hoses. A book on firewood might tell you to skid your lumber out of the forest, but doesn't tell you what equipment you need to do it safely. The third failure is the lack of itemized lists and recipes. For every topic that I cover, there's a conversational discussion, but I follow it up with simple checklists, overviews, alternate equipment choices for different price points or enthusiasm levels. I also include dozens of recipes for every vegetable and fruit that I grow, and for every part of every animal that I raise, from apple cobbler to red wine, beef fajitas to T-bone steak, Asian fried pork chop cutlets to head cheese and English black pudding. This is not a here's what I intend to do Kickstarter. I've already written the book. And I've done this before. I've written 2 novels and launched them through Kickstarter, and both of them have won awards. All I need now is your help to get the finished product into your hands. You'll get all of the benefits of my experience, including dozens of my misadventures so that you can learn from my mistakes. Broken shear pins, logs jammed in snowblowers, bent tractor buckets, the wrong way to make vineyard trellises, invasive weeds and what not to do about them, trees falling in the wrong direction when you're logging, broken tractor implements, trespassing neighbors, dogs barking at coyotes, dogs barking at bears, escaped sheep, pig carcasses falling from great heights. And of course I talk about the pros and cons of farmhands, and why I really don't believe the one who told me that the Hopi Indian planted corn 4 feet under the ground. Over the last decade, millions of people have become more interested in gardening, ethically raised meat, becoming more self-sufficient, and having more authentic lifestyles. I'm guessing that you're one of them. Whatever your dream of living the country is like, whether it's a small vegetable garden, or a off-the-grid compound where you're eating homemade bacon, or just having a nice house with a wood-burning stove, I'll tell you everything that you need to know to plan realistically, and then to make your move from the city or suburbs to the country a success. Thank you for your pledge.